When we have a personal relationship with him, 6 times in Matthew 6:24-34, he says, don't worry. He says, I will provide for your needs, not your wants, not your iPod. He says, I will provide for you. And to me, the hopeful message is trying to live as a believer, as a follower of Jesus, Tuesday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday, not only on Sundays. And we can do it, and it's a matter of determining that we really want to be witnesses for the Lord.
I heard someone say once that Christians don't tell lies, we sing them. You know, like I trust you, Lord. I surrender all. But not really. Not really. Because we don't trust him. Because if we did, then we would be doing what he says. Like you said, Michael, we would be giving to our church. We would be giving to the poor. We would be holding back just in savings. You know, 10% to the church, 10% in savings, and then living on what we need to live on. And
but you know, and saying that it's one of those kinds of tensions, because you know, when you look at the life of Christ, it's so countercultural. And am I really willing to live as he lived in a culture and society today like that? Because how do you not worry? Like, you know what I mean, Michael, what you're saying?
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
what's
how
the
do you
meaning?
not
No,
worry?
but again, what's the meaning of worry? Worry in the sense that I am panicking and becoming, you know, we can be concerned. Let's differentiate concern. You know, my child is out late at night. I know where the child is, but still it's midnight, etc. I'm very concerned, but I'm not panicking. I'm going to be dependent on the Lord, but I am concerned. But when we worry, and essentially it takes over our lives, and it takes over our decision making, and it changes our behavior, and we do things which are ungodly, and that's the issue is. So the word worry there is essentially panicking and behaving in a manner where we show we have no faith.
And you say, you know, that having a relationship with Jesus is how we should live, but what does that actually look like in terms of our finances? Because I don't think we have a lot of countercultural teaching on what that actually looks like.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I try to promote, for example, is I promote that you own nothing, God owns 100%. So you have nothing to give. You really have nothing to give. And you need to understand, in my view, you have nothing to give but your heart. So, for example, somebody's watching this program and the Lord moves in their heart. They shouldn't be thinking, okay, it's 5%, 10%. They should go and say, God, what should I do? And let him lead them to doing it, as opposed to say, well, I'm going to send a check this month for $50. No, no. So what I see is I start, 100% is yours, God. I have nothing. Show me how to do what I need to do. And he does. He really does. If you look in the Bible, you'll see nobody ever went to Jesus and Jesus asked them to do something and he didn't give them everything they had. Moses, Nehemiah, Paul, Peter. It's just, that's what he says
But we're
he's
so
going to do.
formulaic, though. We want, like, this is the number to give, and this is what you have to do, and these are the steps, right? But you're saying, because that leaves a lot onto us to be listening to God, and it's faith, right?
Faith,
it's listening, it's saying, I will respond in that way.
Yeah, which is why I don't teach tithing. Because tithing is, you see, the difficulty I have with tithing is that you give 10% and by the way, it's 2.2% in Canada and the States, which is horrible. It's not even 10.
2.2% what? Of people tithe?
2.2% they give. Of their total, they give 2.2.
2.2.
2.2.
Wow. Is this to churches, to charities, to
overall giving,
overall
average giving.
Wow.
But my point is they give a little,
Yeah.
and then they take the rest and use for themselves. And God owns everything. They don't allow, for example, supposing $1,000 came into you unexpectedly. I'm suggesting that you say, okay, Lord, what should I do? And he might say, give it all away. And you should be saying, okay, Father, that's his money.
You know what? I think that's the whole reason why sometimes people don't want to hear God's voice.
That's right.
Because, you know, they might have
Look at
decided
us.
to give $50 a month, but he might be saying $150, and you don't want to know that. Because then once you know it, you're responsible to decide if you're going to obey, and then you're going to feel guilty if you don't. So
And it's uncomfortable. Like, if you give more away, it's like, wait a second, then I can't go get my coffee every day, or I can't, you know, buy that pair of shoes. Like, that means sacrifice.
And I'm saying no, which brings me to I wanted to talk about some amber lights, and I want to jump around. You see, if people understand what a spending plan, not a budget, what a spending plan, a money map is, a money map frees you from that. I play golf. In fact, I played golf this morning. My wife and I, we go on vacations. We do lots of different stuff. But it's within the context of God's ownership of everything and the budget. So I'm not getting up and saying, okay, can we do this? No, we sit back and right now we're starting to prepare for next year. We're praying and say, Lord, where should the money go? What should we be doing? How should we be spending it? But what people want to do is they want to take everything and they don't surrender it to the Lord. They don't do a spending plan because it's fine. You want to have coffee? That's fine. But before you start to have your coffee, look to see how does coffee spending and buying shoes and toothpaste and all those stuff fit in with my overall spending. And that's what I'm saying. It's fine. And the Lord wants you to live. Of course he wants you. He wants you to be a good witness. He wants you guys on this couch here to look good and be presenting his message. He does. Of course he does. But we don't believe it.
Now, you have a list, actually, of 5 warning signs that you wanted to tell us that mean that you're in trouble.
Yes.
If any of these things happen.
Any of them or all of them?
Any. No, but my question to you is, what does the amber light mean? You have the red light, stop, the green light. What does the amber light?
Slow down.
Caution.
How do
Slow
we
down.
behave with the amber light?
Well, Cheryl would speed up. And I would slow down and scream.
In other words, so these amber lights, unfortunately, people speed up instead of slow down.
So we've got, I think we have them to come up on the screen, the 5 warning signs, actually, that your finances might be in trouble.
I believe that the first one is the critical one when you have decided to stop giving or you're reducing your giving. It's not when you have stopped. It's when you are deciding. You haven't stopped. It's when you feel, you're, oh man, I think I need to cut back. That's a huge amber light. Don't speed up. Stop. Go to the Lord. Pray. Look at your total finances because you're in big trouble.
Okay, and the second one is no capital fund. What is a capital fund?
A capital fund is an account you set aside to avoid emergencies. The car is going to break down, the fridge is going to break down, etc. You need to be setting aside funds. Get out of debt and set aside those funds so that when the emergency comes, it's not really an emergency.
Okay, and then no spending plan, no budget.
No, but well, the other one is the credit card. If you can't pay your credit card balance in full, you should not have a credit card. Put it in the freezer and let it stay. And then if you don't have a budget or a spending plan, it's like leaving home without a roadmap. You're going to get lost. You will get lost. And the 5th one is you need to have some form of accountability. Some form of accountability to say, so how you doing? How you doing this week? Etc. And it's, if any of these come up, don't speed up. Slow down. The amber light, slow down. Be prepared to stop. Any one of those.
I know that when we, get things for full circle, we always say, okay, did you go shopping in your closet first? Like that's kind of our accountability with each other. Let's go shopping in our closet and just the bits and pieces and that kind of thing. But have a friend that you're accountable to. I like that.
Who you can trust.
Who you can trust.
I think we have an accountability right here with Michael the next while.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
You're going to be back regularly, and we are looking forward to that too.